Well, first of course, is the issue of Gajender Singh's suicide and what led to it. And with us is Raghav Chadha of the Aam Aadmi Party. Vani Tripathi Tikku, leader of the BJP, is joining us in the studio. Thank you very much, Vani, for joining us. And Congress represented by J.V. Shergill. Let's go into the accountability issue out here. We didn't want a blame game on this, but Raghav Chadha, it's begun. First of all, Vani, who do you blame on this? I mean, broadly speaking, people don't want to see a blame game on this. People would like to see all political parties working together. Why is there an ugly brawl tonight about who's responsible and who was egging whom on and what were the circumstances in which he died?
Arnab, I think the question is very much about sensitivity, and it's about a man's life which has been lost. So I think whether it's a blame game or whether it's people throwing stones at each other, I think that is not the part of the debate at all. The sensitivity is that whether you want to get proactively involved in a dialogue as far as the condition of farmers is concerned, or do you want to provoke them to an extent that it can create emotional upheaval.
Who was provoking?
I mean, look at what
Gajender Singh. If you're saying something, I hope you'll substantiate it.
Absolutely. Okay. Gajender Singh's brother said this morning and said to all television cameras, and Times Now has been running it since morning, that if this was about a case of a poor farmer or a farmer losing his land or losing his crop, it would have been another issue. According to him, those were not the issues his brother was faced with. According to him, and I'm verbatim quoting, this is about emotional provocation. He says very much the people who were there and the people who were addressing the audience, he also being in the audience, absolutely got entwined, emotionally got entwined in that, and you know, probably it affected him. But again, I'm not saying it's about just somebody being affected. The larger issue is, you talk about proactive governance, you've been talking about pro-poor, land reforms, those kind of things, and then you don't indulge with the government and the governance, but yet you do this rally and it leads to this kind of a tragedy, and then the kind of statements you make after that.
No,
I think these are
Vani, just let me come in. Even if you want to obfuscate and defend yourself against the charge that your government does little for the plight of farmers, and even if you want to cover up for the fact that the Vasundhara Raje Scindia government, which is a BJP government, did absolutely nothing that is worthwhile as far as compensation to farmers is concerned, I find your entire thesis extremely apocryphal. What you're trying to say, 1 minute, and I'll get Raghav to respond to it. What she's trying to say, Raghav, is that, and you can respond to it, is that the suicide note was fake. There was no crop damage. This was not a farmer who had suffered any destitution, who had not suffered any financial loss. And this was all made up, and it was all part of an AAP conspiracy.
Arnab, very much within the land bill. No, very much
for a BJP.
Arnab, very much within the land bill.
Any of the blame to come on your side.
Arnab, very much within the land bill, which has been the core, which has been the core of this issue. Look at how much compensation, 1.5% compensation more, and also 1.5%. No. I mean, 1.5% of whatever was being given, 1.5% more of that. No, but the question, wait a minute.
No,
the question is, Arnab, can we be insensitive to somebody's life?
But you're being right now.
No, how?
But you are being right now in the program.
Why is the Aam Aadmi Party not indulging in terms of governance, in terms of policy making?
No,
why is it not indulging in terms of policy making? Why is it doing this provocative things?
First of all, okay, now we'll get Raghav Chadha to respond to you. I'm sorry, Vani, but I'll take clear positions with vis-a-vis both of you. I think, with the greatest of respect to you, with the utmost of respect to you, Vani, that you're being utterly insensitive tonight in trying to say that here is a rich man who did not need to die, but who was simply egged on and doing some tamasha which went out of hand.
Saying that.
That's what you're implying, That's what you're implying.
No,
that's what you're implying.
I'm absolutely saying that there is sensitivity. There is sensitivity required. There is sensitivity required. And as far as the Congress party, doing this blame game is concerned, remember, Mr. Shergill, do you remember what you did with the land bill? No, what did you do with the land bill?
Okay,
what was your position on the land bill? How much? You have launched a website.
The BJP manifesto, page 27 of the BJP manifesto says, we will do a lot for agricultural welfare.
But am I discussing manifestos?
You have launched a website. You have launched a website a few days ago.
BJP is busy planning resurgent Rajasthan program in November for corporates, and here farmers are dying.
Where?
Here is the Times of India report. I have it in front of me.
I have it in front of me. You have launched a website inaugurated by Mr. Jairam.
40%.
Where you have said,
Times of India report.
Listen to each other.
Times of India report.
take after that.
Times of India report in front of me, 40% rise in farmer suicides in Maharashtra. And what have you done? 39,000 villages in Maharashtra, out of which 19,000 villages are destroyed, Ms. Vani Tripathi, in Maharashtra. And what have you done? Zero.
Mr. Shergill, you've launched a website inaugurated by Mr. Jairam Ramesh.
No,
wait a minute.
Joke has
and
been made by BJP by launching a 50 rupees per acre compensation. Mr. Narendra Modi, again Times of India report says, I will increase MSP by 50% on 17th April 2014.
I take it.
Have we?
Only rupees 50 increase.
Okay.
How hypocritical it is.
Arnab, you should ask Mr. Shergill today that they have launched a website saying we will return land to farmers. Has the BJP or the NDA government acquired any land as yet? No, let him answer this. Has the BJP or the NDA government done
now she listened to you. She listened to you. You listen to him now, please. No, I request you listen to him, please. By the way, I feel, I'm sorry, I'll come to this issue later. But I feel you all just swept away from the issue. No. I first want to address the issue.
Death. A case of abatement of suicide under section 306.
Who abetted?
IPC has to be registered against Delhi police and Aam Aadmi Party. The farmer who died was in constant touch with Sisodia. This has to be proved. How much was the distance between volunteer, the AAP leader, and where the man was hanging? This has to be proved. As a CM, he can sleep on the footpath. Why did he not show proactiveness to go save the man? Both, it is shameful. Aam Aadmi died in an Aam Aadmi Party rally, and the leaders were new spectators.
Okay, Raghav Chadda will now respond. Jaivir, we now request all of you. We have time, we'll all listen to each other. I think we'll have a more constructive debate this way. As of now, I'm focusing only on the issue of the circumstances of Gajendra's death, and right at the start of the debate, and I want Raghav to respond to the point which has been made. Raghav, 2 points made here, but the principal point that Vani started by saying is, she says that there is nothing to prove in this case that here was a destitute farmer who was forced to suicide. She says to the contrary, there was not much crop damage that he suffered. It's all a made-up story. It is aimed at eliciting sympathy. She doesn't say the suicide note is fake, but she basically implies that this is a person who, it's not a case of a farmer committing suicide. Now, my facts speak to the contrary, but anyway, Raghav Chadda, your response to Vani Tripathi Tikku and why you felt that was insensitive for her to say so.
Well, Mr. Goswami, I think this remark from the spokesperson of the BJP was very much expected, and it is on the lines of what Mr. Sambit Patra, the official spokesperson of the BJP, said 2 hours after this incident happened, and Mr. Satish Upadhyay, the Delhi BJP president, after 2.5 hours of this incident. Both of them essentially came out and said that this is a conspiracy. It is a conspiracy orchestrated by the Aam Aadmi Party to gain political mileage, and they are the ones who have orchestrated this suicide. I think, as I said last night on your show, it is a sign of a sick mind and insensitivity towards a farmer's plight, and doing politics over a dead body of a farmer is what the BJP stands for today, and that is what the spokesperson of the BJP is representing on the channel today. Now let me make 3-4 factual corrections, and so that all these points which have have been asked in until now in the debate, or which will be asked henceforth, can be put to rest. Number one, this person, the deceased farmer, was not in touch with Mr. Manish Sisodia. I am saying this with all responsibility. I am the authorized spokesperson of my party. Nor he was in touch with any other person of the party. And also I will say that let an investigation happen. If you find no,
I'm allowing the counter, Raghav. I'm allowing the counter. Raghav, I'm allowing the counter. I'll come to you. I'm allowing brief counter. I'm allowing a brief counter.
For the sake of saving your party in his pocket, are you saying his brother is like Raghav? His brother is said in the morning, even my brother was in touch with Manish Sisodia. The problem is Aam Aadmi Party never wants to take responsibility.
Okay, you made your point. Made your point.
No, what are you trying to imply? No, what are you trying to imply? What are you trying to imply by saying this?
I am trying to imply
are you saying that it's the Aam Aadmi Party that...
What is the angle?
Have you lost your mental balance? What is wrong with you? How low can you stoop?
1 minute.
Aam Aadmi Party leaders clapping and giving speeches.
What are you implying? 1 second. He's countering you now. I request both of you. No. At this sensitive point in the debate, I request both of you, Manish, 1 second, Raghav Chadda and Jaivir Shergill, and please, Don't speak over each other. You can make the strongest of points against each other. Each of you is expected to respond. Now, don't speak over each other. He says, what are you implying? 1 second, please. Hold yourself back. Raghav, make your point, because you were questioning what Jaiveer Shergill of the Congress party is implying. Hear him, otherwise you won't know what to respond. Yes, please. Raghav, you were saying something to him.
Mr. Goswami, both the Congress and the BJP, yes, both the Congress and the BJP have been making insinuations since morning and trying to imply that it is the Aam Aadmi Party that has orchestrated this suicide, and it is Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, Mr. Sisodia who are to be blamed for this suicide. I mean, it is extremely shocking to see that political opportunism in this country has stooped to such low level. Let me complete my point. I'm making a very important point. I am making a very important point.
I have a very small question to ask.
Raghav, a question your way.
The question is, if you really are absolutely truthful in your heart about about the insinuation that you're saying, which is being implied whether by me or by the Congress spokesperson, answer this, Mr. Chadda. We have seen footage of what happened at Jantar Mantar yesterday. The person was climbing up the tree and there were your volunteers clapping right below that tree. Now tell me, by any camera angle, and I'm also an actor, by any camera angle, the people on stage could see that tree where the person was climbing. Why were you quiet? Why did you not respond? And I am not sure about this, but a media channel has also said in the morning, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal in his speech said, Dausa ka bhai. Who was he referring to? Were there a lot of farmers from Dausa? Who was this Dausa ka bhai that Mr. Kejriwal was referring to? If you are clean in your heart, answer this and we want to know about it.
Okay, let him answer. No, a question has been asked. A question has been asked. You must hear the answer.
Yes.
Answer.
So Mr. Goswami, as I have narrated a number of times since yesterday, and as it has been captured in Times Now cameras and the cameras of other news channels, we had stopped the program for 30 minutes. The leaders from the stage were shouting and howling and requesting for the police corps to step up and rescue this person. It was our volunteers which, after repeated requests, risked their own lives, climbed up the tree and rescued that man. That has been captured in your cameras. You see, I will give
BJP
will give you their side of the story. I will give you my side of the story. Please show the footage. You are the fourth pillar of Indian democracy. You are the concept keeper. Show the footage. Let us put these insinuations at rest. Secondly, Mr. Goswami, important point.
His lack of proactiveness led to a farm.
Please
let him come.
Mr. Goswami, so we have debated this yesterday also. You can certainly question, all I'm trying to say, Mr. Goswami, and I'm accepting this on your channel, you can question the spontaneity, you can question the swiftness in the action, but please, for heaven's sake, do not question our intention. Can you even think that a political party, at least Aam Aadmi Party, can I orchestrate an event like that? That's one. Number two.
So Mr. Raghav Chadda, there's a larger... Let's begin with an assumption. Let's begin with an assumption that you believe that both these participants in the panel here today with me in the studio, both Vani Tripathi Tikku and Raghav Chadda, are biased and prejudiced against you. Maybe you think I am, but I am not, and I hope that you actually don't think I am. My question to you is very simple. My information is that within 10 minutes of Gajender Singh hanging himself from a tree, a person called Kumar Vishwas had already begun the blame game. My information further is that when his body was being taken, a person called Arvind Kejriwal was dramatizing the whole incident, saying, look here, look at the way in which Kisans are dying. In other words, I'm sorry to say this, Raghav Chadda, but your political leaders found in the death of Gajender Singh a useful political metaphor which they could whip and squeeze for its political potential. And without caring about whether the sensitivity was there, whether you were exploiting a poor farmer's death.
Rather than saving the farmer's life,
I'll take that.
Let him respond. Let him respond to my question.
Jaiveer, let me respond. Mr. Goswami, let me once. There's an echo if you can get it corrected.
Go ahead.
So I will I will just narrate the incident, the entire, the chronological series of events that took place. You see, once we gauged that a farmer has, climbed up the tree, and he is not climbed up the tree in order to get a good view of the speaker on the stage, but to commit suicide, we stopped the, the speeches for 30 minutes. All the leaders from the stage were shouting and howling, and trust me, Mr. Goswami, I was right next to the stage. I was right next to the stage. We were helpless. We were. Now let me complete, Vani. Let me complete, please. In all fairness, let me speak. Let's have a civil debate, please. It's a somber occasion. Mr. Goswami,
I was right next to the stage before, but I was talking of civility. Of course, I'm all ears to you tonight because I really want to hear what your version of this horrific tragic story is.
Okay, Vani, here.
Mr. Goswami, I was right next to the stage, and I can tell you how helpless we were. The only person that we could have called for help was the Delhi police, who were there. 3 officers, 5 constables were right next to that tree and the, where this entire incident was taking place. But we were feeling helpless. We were requesting them to please step up and rescue this person. It was in sheer helplessness
that
we made this remark. And Mr. Goswami, even you can question this. All I'm trying to say, question the spontaneity, question the swiftness of our action, but do not question our intention. And let me make one more point.
Please give me some time to explain. Very important point. And after that, the stage is all yours.
Let us speak.
If I will see a man dying, I will not even for a minute leap out of the street and actually go and try and save a life. What is helplessness? And were there 20,000 people on Jantar Mantar yesterday? How many people were there? The media has reported there were about 2,000 people.
My question is, please allow me to question.
Will I be a mute spectator and look at a person dying right in front of my eyes?
My question to Raghav Chadha is this. Raghav Chadha, you are basically saying that the Delhi police is responsible. 2 questions to Raghav Chadha from my side, please. Raghav, is the Delhi police? Raghav, just hear me for a minute. Let's have a very clear Q&A session with you, please, because there are many inconsistencies in what you're saying, and you're a logical man occasionally, and you may want to see through the logic of my questions tonight. Is the Delhi police responsible for the fact that in a vulnerable situation to an audience of farmers at a time when a farmer has committed suicide, your leaders irresponsibly decided to continue the rally and indulge in a blame game with the centre? Will you concede that Kumar Vishwas and Arvind Kejriwal's speeches after Gajender Singh had been rushed to the hospital could have potentially led to an ugly situation in which people would have got incited against the law and order machinery? Question number 1. Question number 2, according to the FIR filed, AAP supporters were quote-unquote clapping when the man, while looking at a man who had climbed up a tree at 12:50 p.m. yesterday afternoon. Should this be true, can you deny that it was your volunteers in the moment who could have been instigating the farmer who was already distressed? And what was your top leadership doing to stop the volunteers from inciting Gajender Singh in the moment? He should reply to my question.
I will answer both the questions, and I will take some amount of time. After that, if you want, I won't speak on the debate. Just please give me some time to explain this point, because it's a very important point. Number 1, with respect to the Delhi police, the FIR filed, etc., that you have raised, some very pertinent questions. Let me say this, Mr. Goswami, and I will substantiate my argument that the BJP or the government, the central government, is using the Delhi police as a political weapon to corner the Aam Aadmi Party, to shift the entire focus from the larger plight of the farmers to the role of the Aam Aadmi Party. Number 1. Number 2, and I am substantiating it. Mr. Meena, the Special Commissioner of Police, has been quoted in every English newspaper of Delhi saying that it is not our responsibility to rescue this person. Number 1. Number 2, many eyewitnesses have gone on record on various media channels and said that we requested the 5 cops who were around that incident and they did not. I'm saying I made you a logical point. Please give me some time. Please,
give him the time. Please, let him answer my questions. I'll come.
I am making 3-4 points, after which, yes, let me make 3-4 important points. After that, you are absolutely free to come in. So, this was Mr. Meena's role. Number 2, many eyewitnesses have gone on record and stated that the cops who were there declined to step up to the situation, and they said that first go to the police station, get a written order, and only then we will come and help you guys. Number 2, Satish Upadhyay, Sambit Patra, all of the BJP spokespersons within 1 hour of the, or 1.5 hours of the event, came up with the conclusion that it is a conspiracy. Number 3, Mr. Bassi, the police commissioner, without getting an, the autopsy report court has gone on record and made conclusions, drawn conclusions, made statements about the demise and what are the real reasons behind that. Number 3, the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi, as per law, as per section 174 and section 176, ordered a ministerial inquiry, 174, 176 of CRPC, which Javid would know, which is absolutely mandatory. It is not an optional provision, it is a mandatory provision. The Delhi police, no, hold on, the Delhi police has declined it.
One at a time. One at a time.
Raghav, I want to ask you, have you read section 306 of the Indian Penal Code?
2 more points and I will read my case.
No, Raghav, counters being allowed. Counters being allowed, Raghav. No, counters being allowed, Raghav.
Raghav, I have 3 questions.
Counter allowed.
Raghav, I have 3 questions. Or whatever answers you are giving does not answer one question. Why did you not leave the mic and go climb the tree to save the farmer?
Absolutely,
Number 2,
agree with that.
Did you ask for Delhi police help when you had to sleep on the footpath for photo ops? Did you help for Delhi police help when you had to climb trees to cut?
Don't make it political. Don't make it political. I will give a factual answer.
Your first reaction was not to save the farmer. Your first reaction was to blame the Delhi police.
I'll reply, boss. I'll reply. Don't make it political.
By the way, Raghav, I have something to say to you. I really feel that you basically make 3 points. You say first the police did not help. Secondly, you say the conspiracy theory is irresponsible. Then you say there was no autopsy, and the fourth you say we have a magisterial inquiry going on. Well, first and second, even if I were to concede in first and second, by the way, Raghav, let me complete. You're not listening to me.
Raghav,
you're not listening to me, Raghav.
Let me complete. The magisterial inquiry has been stopped.
All your arguments.
The magisterial inquiry has been stopped by the Home Minister.
Why did you not leave the mic and go and save the man, including yourself?
I
am saying, Mr. Goswami, the magisterial inquiry has been stopped by the Home Minister.
Raghav, there is just one basic question, which is humanity. And you're not able to answer. Why would you not leap out of whatever situation you are to save a man's life who's dying right in front of your eyes? What is it to blame the police or the people or the volunteers?
Aam Aadmi Party was more interested in
the helplessness is in the intention, which meant you did not have the intention to save the man's life. And if you concede to that tonight, I think whoever is watching this show will at least have this much in their heart, that you're true to what you're saying. Everything else is humbug. And the very police you are blaming, Raghav, are also the people who are also the lawmakers of the land. Be very careful before you start making the same broad stroke ugly statements that you did in the last time.
Now, before Raghav responds to that, I want to say a couple of things, Raghav.
Can I come in now?
Allow me 30 seconds to make a couple of points to put this in perspective, Raghav. It will be useful. Otherwise, you'll keep sparring with each other. But allow me to put some perspective into this debate. Now, no autopsy, ridiculous argument, Raghav. No autopsy. You do autopsy when you have any, in this case, you're waiting for an autopsy to prove that the man died of hanging. Silly argument, does not hold weight. It's laughable. 174 CRPC managed magisterial inquiry. 1 minute. Now listen to me, Raghav. Don't be impatient with me, Raghav. Just for a minute. Don't be impatient. Hear my points tonight. They may make sense to you. 174 CRPC Congress representative has a point when he says you are the people who are under scrutiny about your role. How can you stand in judgment? There should be an independent inquiry. Anyway, I agree with him on that. Now, and to contrary to your claims, by the way, Raghav, that the Delhi police did nothing, according to the FIR, it was the Delhi police that immediately alerted the control room and urged your volunteers not to provoke Gajender Singh. Now, my question to you follows from Vani saying, what is the responsibility of Arvind Kejriwal?
I've understood.
And is it the responsibility of the Aam Aadmi Party leadership, including you, Raghav Chadda, that was armed with mics and loudspeakers, to stop the events, reach out to volunteers, not urge Gajender Singh to go higher up in the tree? Or will you blame the Delhi police and or for the fact that your volunteers were egging the deceased? You see, the narrative of the police in the FIR is that, quote, Gajender got excited and swung from the tree. Should this be true, will you agree tonight on the program that it was your leadership's failure to control your volunteers that could have led to the unfortunate set of circumstances? And by the way, Raghav, be a little open-minded tonight. Don't be so defensive. Can you deny the police's claim that your volunteers were sparring with the police in a moment of crisis, saying they wanted to take Gajender Singh to the hospital in their car rather than the police car?
And in what?
At a time, 1 second, let me complete. Because this is a very interesting, it's a very traumatic moment that is happening right before us. A person, yes, I'll allow you to complete. Is it true that your volunteers were sparring with the police at a moment of crisis saying, we'll take him in our car? You first allow him to hang himself, and then you fight with the police on whether they'll go in his car or your car and which car?
And how can Raghav Chadda give a clean sheet to AAP volunteers when the inquiry is going on?
Okay, now let him respond.
It is an open and shut case. It is an open shut case. Aam Aadmi died in an Aam Aadmi rally and your leaders were mute spectators.
No, I think let him respond.
And provoked the suicide, and a case under section 306, amendment to suicide, should be registered.
Okay, now let him reply. Please go ahead, Raghav Chadda.
See, Mr. Goswami, you first of all have to let me complete my argument before you ask and all the panelists start firing counter questions. Number one, the autopsy report is awaited and it is required in this case. I mean, I'm sure anybody who has dealt with criminal investigations and the CRPC knows that the autopsy report is required, and a senior dignitary, a senior official like the Police Commissioner of Delhi cannot draw conclusions even before the autopsy.
No, don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. No, I won't allow it. I won't allow him now. No, I don't allow him now. Javid, don't heckle. Javid, don't heckle, please. 1 second. Let him complete his point. Yeah.
Section 174, Section 176 of the CRPC make it mandatory for a ministerial inquiry to happen. The police commissioner has gone on record and said that we will not cooperate. He has written a letter to the Delhi government and said we don't want this inquiry to happen. We will inquire and we will furnish a report. So the accused, the party to the crime, is saying that I will inquire and I will pass a judgment. Number 3, the FIR. Mr. Goswami, FIR states the version of only the SSP. SSP of police does not state the version of even one volunteer, even one eyewitness. So please let us not go by that stupid FIR. If you look through that FIR says that the Aam Aadmi Party and its volunteers were obstructing the way. The Aam Aadmi Party was obstructing the way. They were making sure that this person died. They were inciting him. They were investigating.
An FIR that does not agree with you becomes stupid.
No, and you are known to
An FIR that implicates you is stupid.
Get a video footage. Get the video footage of the entire event and please prove.
Mr. Chadda, now listen to Vani. Listen to Vani.
You are known to disrespect.
Prove this to me on Times Now today.
Okay, let's stop for a minute. Let's stop. Vani, stop for a minute.
Obstructing the way.
Let everybody stop for a minute. Let everybody stop for a minute. We have 10 minutes on this debate. I request you 1 second. 10 minutes on this debate. An interesting point in this debate. I just request you 10 minutes. We're going to make the most of it. Let's stop for a minute. Let's step back. At this stage of the debate, No, Raghav, you can't interrupt me every time. I'm just putting the debate in perspective.
And we can't use these kind of words.
I agree with you, but
this is extreme disrespect of law of the land.
Vani, I understand
and I think we should absolutely have an outcry right now, on this debate. He cannot.
Delhi police is being used as a political weapon to gain political mileage. That's my charge, Vani. That's my charge.
Speaking like this about the lawmaking agencies, you're calling the FIR. If the government would not have been proactive, if the police was not proactive, Mr. Rajnath Singh immediately ordered an inquiry and an FIR has been lodged, by the police, and now he's calling it stupid.
What is your objection? Let him. No, don't speak over that, please.
The extreme disrespect. He's calling the FIR stupid. That means
I will prove it to you.
That they will not cooperate with the inquiry.
No, I need to. Vani, I need to get a response from him. I need to get a response from him. Will you let me take a response from him? My request is 1 second, Raghav. Would you like to? Just 1 second, Raghav. Listen to me. Will you take back? Will you take back your words? Will you, it's not, the FIR doesn't go your way, you can't call it stupid. Will you take back your description of the FIR as stupid tonight?
Mr. Goswami.
Will you take it back, Raghav? I give you one
Goswami, I will replace that. So I will replace that by saying that the police is being used as a political weapon by the BJP to score petty political Number two, Mr. Goswami, pull out the footage that has been captured in your cameras and show it to the world, that whether the Aam Aadmi Party volunteers were actually obstructing or inciting that person to commit suicide, or were they helping him? And my MLAs, my health secretary, my parliamentary secretary took him to the hospital. We risked our lives to save that man. I mean, it's obnoxious of the BJP and the Delhi Javid, don't, please. Now my question is to Vani. Raghav, you will listen to me, please, for a minute. Not interrupt, because my question to Vani is very relevant. Now, Vani.
He took back the word stupid, by the way.
He replaced it.
He replaced it.
There is no remorse and there is no even tone of apology. What he said.
Now,
if this is the kind of respect
now for Vani, my question to you is, Vani, my question to you is, my question to you is, our reporters at the rally tell us that Gajender Singh started climbing the tree at 10:45 a.m. He hung himself at around 1:50 p.m. So between 10:45 a.m. and 1:50 p.m. there are 3 hours and 5 minutes. Okay, sure. Ask yourself logically, what was your proactive Delhi police who you are defending so furiously today because it reports to Rajnath Singh? What was the Delhi police which reports to the BJP-led central government doing between 10:45 a.m. and 1:45 p.m. when there was adequate time to get this man off the tree?
Arnab, the Home Minister has already ordered an inquiry, which means it will inquire into every facet of what went into the incident.
3 hours, the Delhi police can't get a man off the tree.
If there are 3 hours, because I'm not the investigating officer here,
Raghav,
if there are 3 hours and 5 minutes, I'm sure it will be inquired upon and there will be details of what was happening.
My question to you is,
Arnab,
my
BJP is very proactive when they have to arrest Priya Pillai. Today you showed 3 hours to make a man save his life.
Just a minute. You're also a person of law.
Yes,
you're a lawyer. You know law very well.
Don't interrupt, please.
Don't you? So, Arnab, the inquiry will look into every facet of what happened in the incident, and that is why the Home Minister himself has proactively ordered it.
Oh no, you
accept But the kind of intention that the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson is showing tonight on your show, as far as policing and as far as law of the land and as far as the FIR is concerned, that itself tells you that there will be no cooperation from the Delhi government as far as the inquiry is concerned.
My party are equally responsible for the farmers' death. Your lack of proactiveness led to death. Their volunteers could have saved. Delhi police under BJP could have saved.
1 minute. Javeer, 1 minute.
In the blame game between BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, a farmer's death is being insulted, and that is
before the Aam Aadmi Party, the Congress Party was very much in government in Delhi. And your Chief Minister,
who does the Delhi police report to?
Okay, one second.
Who does the Delhi police report to? Rizwani, who does the Delhi police report to?
So very much when you talk under the same breath, remember the background. Remember the background of what your Chief Ministers also have said.
Wasn't BJP government responsible for ensuring law and order in
what I'm saying is,
Delhi
this inquiry
BJP
will be very,
is responsible for security of each citizen of Delhi because Delhi police reports to Rajnath Singh. And if a death happens on the soil of Delhi,
the BJP government is security of any citizen. That is why we are debating a person's life which has been taken in public fora yesterday. That's why we are debating it tonight.
So admitted.
So that's why there's an inquiry which has been put by the Home Minister.
That Delhi police was not proactive, leading to a farmer's death.
There is an inquiry which is going to happen, and
what
that inquiry will tell you
the video shows a man has died. Aam Aadmi Party volunteers are clapping. Delhi police is busy doing something.
Let the inquiry give the report.
At this point, I'll wrap up this debate only by saying that it's quite clear to me that both sides should have taken responsibility. No, Raghav, both sides should have taken responsibility. It's tragic today that whatever your political bias, you're fighting over what led to Gajendra's death. And I think it's unacceptable that the BJP says he was not a poor farmer whose circumstances didn't lead him to his death. And it's unacceptable that the Aam Aadmi Party leadership does not take responsibility for continuing their politics while he died. I'll wrap it up at this point. I thank you all. We continue our debate in debate number 2. We are talking tonight. In debate number 2, Raghav, we are coming back. In debate number 2, the circumstances of farmers in this country and why politicians are only waking up now. Thank you for joining me on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight.